Even along the shores of Hawaii, in a place that seems so peaceful, there are many things that go unnoticed. One of these is the box jellyfish, which is nearly completely transparent and therefore very difficult to spot in the water. But what's fascinating is that this creature has a full 24 eyes, and these eyes are nearly as developed as human eyes. Yet the creature lacks a central brain. So why does a creature without a central brain structure need such highly developed eyes? But before we get to the answer to that question, we need to get to know this creature a little better. One of its most striking features is its nearly completely transparent structure, which makes it almost invisible. Unlike other jellyfish, its body has a more angular, cube-like shape, hence the name box jellyfish. Unlike other jellyfish, it doesn't get carried away by currents. Instead, it moves by contracting and relaxing its body. Its speed is approximately 3 to 4 miles per hour, which is quite close to a person's walking speed. It typically lives in calm, warm waters near the shore. Especially along the coasts of Hawaii, it is possible to encounter this creature during certain periods. In these areas where sunlight filters through the water, it moves silently. And most people don't even realize they're in the same water as this creature, though such encounters are rare. It generally stays away from humans and often continues on its way silently. Especially along the coasts of Hawaii, it is more common to encounter this creature during certain periods. It has been observed that they tend to come closer to the shore between 8 and 10 days after a full moon. This phenomenon is believed to be related to moonlight and water currents. In fact, warning signs are placed along the coasts of Hawaii during these times of the year. This creature has a body smaller than it appears. Its body is approximately 6 to 8 inches in length, which is about the width of an adult's hand. However, when it enters hunting mode, this changes completely. The length of its tentacles can reach up to 10 feet. This length is nearly the height of 2 people. These long, slender tentacles are also used for hunting. As it moves through the water, these tentacles spread out, creating an almost invisible field. The moment its prey comes into contact with this field, special cells on its surface trigger the release of a potent fluid, causing a reaction. This reaction occurs within milliseconds, often so quickly that it's impossible to even comprehend what's happening. And this entire process demonstrates just how effective its chemical composition is. The chemical compounds it uses to capture its prey contain special proteins called porins, which upon contact create microscopic holes in the cell membrane and disrupt the cell's balance. The body's electrical system also begins to be affected, and at this point, another effect of this system becomes evident. It can cause changes in heart rhythm, making it difficult for the heart to beat regularly. When the heart rhythm is disrupted, the body cannot transmit the signals it needs properly. This entire process occurs in a matter of seconds, and this clearly demonstrates why this creature is such an effective predator. Like all living creatures, this species has its predators. Sea turtles, in particular, are among the few creatures capable of consuming the box jellyfish. Thanks to their thick and durable structure, they are less affected by defense mechanisms compared to other species. Moreover, for some turtle species, jellyfish constitute an important part of their diet. For this reason, they play a significant role in maintaining the natural balance of the ocean. There are common claims about these creatures. It's said that jellyfish never age or constantly regenerate themselves. but this applies only to certain species of jellyfish. The species you see here does not possess such a trait. This creature, like others, is born, grows, and completes its life cycle. So why does a creature without a central brain need such highly developed eyes? Actually, it has more to do with its environment. Living in areas near the coast, this creature is constantly exposed to changing light and environmental stimuli. Therefore, simply detecting environmental stimuli is not enough. It must also visually assess its surroundings. Its 24 eyes perform different functions. These eyes are clustered in specialized structures located at the 4 corners of its body. There is a group of eyes at each corner. Some simply detect the direction and intensity of light, while others can form clearer images. Some of its eyes even contain lens-like structures, albeit simple ones. Most interestingly, this creature does not only perceive the inside of the water, but can also perceive the outside of the water. It is even thought to determine its direction by looking at objects above it in its environment. Research suggests that by perceiving the shadows of trees on the water's surface, it can understand which direction to move toward. This allows it to perceive its surroundings not just in terms of light and dark, but in much greater detail. But what's even more interesting is that all this information isn't gathered in a single central brain. Instead, the small structures connected to the eyes act like mini control centers operating independently. These structures process incoming information instantly and generate a direct response. This gives it a significant advantage. Because it doesn't rely on a single point to make decisions, everything happens almost instantly. However, this system has some drawbacks. Since all information is not managed from a single point, this makes decision-making quite difficult in complex situations. For example, when there are lights and movements coming from different directions in the water, it may not always clearly distinguish which direction to focus on. And this system is entirely built on speed. It responds quickly, but this isn't always the right decision. This organism is structurally quite simple, but thanks to its abilities, it functions in perfect harmony with its environment. This teaches us that in nature, the most dominant factor isn't always the largest or most complex one. Sometimes even the simplest systems can produce the most effective results, and this creature is one of the clearest examples of that. So what do you think? Does the fact that it can sustain itself so effectively surprise you? Our next stop, Texas. In these lands, there's a small but striking creature. It stands out immediately with its bright appearance, but getting close to it might be much riskier than you think. In the next video, we'll take a closer look at this fascinating creature.